Alrighty, y'all. Hello and welcome back to, well, diving into another sport. Has to do with, of course, billiards. Now, I grew up on 8-ball and 9-ball, pretty much the cliche, form of any type of pool or billiard sport here in the U.S., and I very much have always enjoyed those. And recently on the channel, about a couple months ago or so, I really kind of took a deep dive on snooker, and lo and behold, I got hooked. It's very interesting. It was very intimidating at first, thinking, what the hell are all these balls with no numbers on them? And, of course, I didn't know how it worked. Once I learned and actually got to play it through some, simulator games and see some action from the pros and some legendary players, it all started making more sense. And I think it's very, very interesting still. Now, I have yet to play it in person. That's still on, my goals list. But we're going to transition into another game that I've seen recommended multiple times and just seen, kind of through different media sources now that I've been into snooker. That is, of course, 3-cushion billiards. Now, from my understanding, this is, again, probably bigger in Europe and maybe other places in the world than it is here in the U.S. At least that's what I think. Again, I've only ever been exposed to 8-ball and 9-ball pretty much here, trick shots, or maybe some other made-up games. I'm not really sure, but that's about it. I do have a recent suggestion on Discord from Tazzy Tiger to take a look at this introduction to the sport. This is from Night Cafe. This will be linked in the description down below, so you can check out this video and, of course, browse their channel. Now, I will start with this first. If we go to our view here, this is what it comes up with, 3-cushion billiards. And the first observation, before we even look at a video, I want to point out, this is what I'm seeing. And I've seen this, like I said, in a couple, just random clip, thumbnails and stuff. I've never even watched them, but I've seen this before. And we have, in my opinion, a pool table with no pockets. Where the hell are the pockets? Right? I feel like that's fundamental to every game, is you hit some sort of a ball into a pocket. We don't have that here, so I'm instantly confused, right? That's basically what we're working with. So you can see that here. I don't know how this works. I have no idea. And that's what we're going to do today. I'm very, very interested to learn, because seeing what looks to be pretty big table with no pockets at all and only 3 balls on the table just instantly makes me scratch my head. What am I looking at? Let's go ahead and take a look. This should be good.
This billiard table does not have holes. We receive these questions so often on all of our platforms.
Probably
now
Americans.
You can learn the rules of 3-cushion billiard in this video and get some additional information. In 3-cushion billiard, there are 3 balls: white, yellow, and red.
Okay, so only 3 balls, white, yellow, red. I see they have some different sort of markings on them. Okay.
Player 1 is white, player 2 is queuing always with yellow. When it's your turn, you try to hit with your ball
so it's a 2-player game.
Other balls. But that is too easy. Before you hit the last ball, you have to hit at least 3 cushions. And that's the name of the game.
Okay, so you have to hit your ball, then 3 cushions before you hit the other ball? Whoa. That sounds freaking difficult. Okay.
If you make a point, you can continue playing. But first things first. Let's start with the basics. We have already talked the balls. We have only 3 of them. These are bigger and heavier than pool balls.
Oh, I love that they showed this comparison. Okay, so it is significantly bigger and it's heavier. That would be weird at first to even try this, just because I bet the first couple times you hit it, you're like, whoa, this feels, you can feel it in your pool cue, I'm sure. The impact's going to be slightly greater, and everything you know about this ball on the right, say you play a lot, everything you know about how hard to hit it, to do this, or, put English on it, all these different tricks and techniques are going to be slightly, you got to relearn or alter for this ball now. Okay, instantly more challenging.
And is way bigger than pool tables. Also,
Wow. Another great
Table
side-by-side.
has no holes and is way bigger than.
Okay, so this would be like one of the more bigger size pool tables. Look at how freaking small it is. So this 3-cushion billiard table is definitely a lot bigger. Wow.
And pool tables.
That's
Also, the
unexpected.
close
I almost thought it was going to be smaller.
The table is really fast compared to the most pool tables.
Oh, okay.
The balls are running and running.
I mean, I guess that makes sense, though. If you got to be going all around for the
Who is playing with which
normal
ball
technique.
is determined with the leg. Each player is assigned to a ball and is always queuing with the same ball, either white or yellow. Red is neutral. The player playing the ball closer to the cushion can decide whether he wants to start.
Okay, so you can't cross over, can't hit the side cushion, can't hit the ball. You gotta stay in your lane essentially, and you gotta get close to this. That is basically like, instead of a coin toss, right? You do this, and that decides who starts. Okay, because I was gonna ask, how does the game begin?
Or
Gotcha.
the opponent should begin. Let's start with the game.
That seems similar to, again, very not knowledgeable of the sport, but English billiards I learned about a couple months ago. That has pockets and stuff, so it's obviously different than this. But I remember the starting point was kind of like this, if I remember how you do that exercise there.
From the starting position, the first player tries to make his first point. Only in the starting break shot, he must hit the red ball directly. If you make the point, you can continue playing. Now you can choose to play first red or yellow.
All right. Three. Damn, how did that guy know what the hell was... So he hits this. He gets the red ball. Boom. First check mark or checkpoint is achieved. Then after that, he has to make sure that this cue ball hits 3 cushions, right? And it could be any cushions, correct? If it achieves hitting 3 cushions, it can then, hopefully, he has it hit this ball. Then that would be a full point. That's a lot to achieve just hitting the ball once. So this is a very strategic and like deep thought game. Like you have to be thinking moves ahead, all to get this 1 point scored.
Or you can also play first a cushion.
Oh. Oh, so that was valid too. So he played the cushions first and ended up hitting both balls. Now, in that first shot, not that one, sorry to go back, that first shot where he hit the ball, then he had to do the 3 cushions, then hit the red ball. Or I'm sorry, hit the yellow ball because he hit the red ball first. What if he would have intersected with that red ball again before he hit the other one? I'm going to assume that's going to be like a foul or something, right?
Key is to control the balls, your mind, your body, and your memory. Try to develop slowly your knowledge, your strategy, and your creativity. But the most important of all of that is to have fun. Enjoy every moment. You are fascinated by the elegance of the billiard game? Then 3 cushion is the choice for you. Just head to your local billiard club and join the community.
I don't think I have one near me. It's all going to be always 8 ball or 9 ball or something along the lines there. I could barely find snooker. That's why I haven't been able to do an in-person video of me trying it for the first time. I think the chances of finding this might be even harder. I could see what he's saying about just have fun with it and take the time to learn and strategize. Obviously, I would love to try this out in person. I don't even know if I'll have to check. I don't even know if the billiard, game or video game simulator has this in there. I don't think it does, although I'll have to check. I'll certainly try it at least digitally on a sim first, and then of course I would love to try it in person. I can see it being contrary to traditional games we've learned about in traditional games I know. I could see this actually being very like relaxing and pretty chilled out, right? Because once you get in the groove of knowing the rules, which there's not many, it's just different, that's all. But once you get that, you don't have to worry about potting balls, right? Getting them lined up and hitting this ball into that hole and all this stuff, right? I mean, I feel like it's just, it would become kind of fun, and you just hit the ball and kind of just let them do their thing and hope that you're getting the 3 cushions and hitting another ball. I feel like it's would be kind of cool. It'd be a different vibe than, of course, 8 ball or 9 ball, like what I'm used to playing on a real table. Not to mention the table's so big, I would love to see that in person as well, because of course a video won't do it justice. I bet it feels really big. Just like a snooker table, I believe, is bigger than tables I would be used to here in the U.S. as well. Well, that was a great introduction to the sport. And I mean, I don't think there's like a whole bunch of rules they really have to explain. I'm assuming they pretty much covered it there, even though that was just a few minutes. Very interesting. Am I intrigued? Yes, of course. Does it, stating the obvious, does it make more sense than it did 10 minutes ago? Yes, because like I said, first impression, seeing the table with no pockets made no sense to me at all. But now, of course, it does make a little more sense, although it is bizarre. Like, it's not a bad thing, but I have to say that is very bizarre to me. I wonder if this came long before the games like 8 ball, 9 ball, or if this was an evolution of that and someone said, hey, let's make a table with no pockets, right? Like, I don't know the whole history in it, but it just seems very weird to me that it's even a thing. But I can appreciate it, of course, that it is a thing, and it's just totally different. My thoughts on it are that it's not a hard game to grasp. Is it bizarre? Of course. Is it way different than I'm used to? Of course. But it doesn't seem like it's difficult to grasp the concept of the game. Although, I think this game would be extremely difficult for a while in practice, like actually playing it. I might know the rules and know what I have to do, but actually putting that in motion and achieving that. So in that sort of sense, I'm saying it would be very hard. I'm not going to joke and act like this would be easy or I'd be a pro after 10 minutes. Of course not. Like, this looks very difficult. But inviting, not difficult in a bad way. And I'm just looking at literally a couple seconds of this. I don't want to get any like TV networks trying to block the video, but this is like a 3-cushion European Championship from Brandenburg, which I apologize, I don't even know where Brandenburg is. I'm going to assume maybe like Germany, maybe? I suppose I could look that up in a second, but here's like footage of it. This is basically for me to see like the game in motion. So he missed that, right? Because he didn't hit both balls. So he got his 3 cushions. He got his red ball. He did not hit the yellow. Okay. See? It's all clicking now. Let's get one more. Did he miss it? Or did he hit it? He missed it. That's frustrating. See, this is a fun game. It can also get... I don't know about frustrating. That's an overstatement. I don't think I'd be frustrated. I would just be like, oh, really? I got all that travel time on that ball and it didn't hit. It came that close. Real quick, on our way out here, I'm reading kind of... I won't read it all to you, of course. But to summarize kind of some of this Wikipedia, somewhat accurate history, hopefully. This dates back to the 1870s. It's not entirely even known how it originally started or who straight up invented it. But this guy, this Wayman McCreary, popularized it and maybe invented it. Ironically, One of the first times someone popularized it and won a lot with it was in St. Louis, Missouri, which is, of course, here in the U.S. That's ironic, considering I'm just sitting here saying I've never heard of it, and I don't think it's big in the U.S. So that's bizarre. But if you do read on, it says it retains great popularity in Europe, Asia, and Latin America. It says it does have somewhat of a strong following in the U.S., but I think that's like in a concentrated group. You know, am I a pool or billiards expert? Of course not. But I've been a casual player on and off since I was, 8 or 9 years old. And I have a lot of family members that like it as well. And what we've always known and played was always revolved around either 8-ball or 9-ball. There was never 3-cushion billiards. There was never snooker. So, this is like a normal American perspective. I don't know about this at all, and I don't see it advertised ever in the U.S. Just like anything, is there maybe small pockets of people here in the U.S. that love this game and play it all the time? Well, sure. That could be said about anything, especially in a country as big as the U.S. Is it popular here on a grand scale? No, I don't think so. It also says that how difficult the game is. Even pros, right? Like we might have been watching in that last clip, they averaged only 1 point per inning, which is like a national level skill. So it's not like they're getting these points as we learned how to get a point. It's not like they're doing that every shot, not even close. It is a very hard game. That's what I'm reading. When it comes to medals for the European 3-cushion championship, which is, I guess, a big deal every year, Belgium seems to dominate. So, wow, shout out to Belgium. Y'all are dominating the sport. And, of course, there is a final look at kind of a panoramic view of where one of these championships is held. Looks pretty cool. Well, that's going to do it for this one. Call me intrigued for sure. Please let me know of any suggestions and ideas to go along with this. I will try to follow up with this. Hopefully someday playing it in real life. That's always my goal with some of these sports. I really think that would be fun. At least at the minimum, trying to play this in some sort of simulator. I will just have to see about that as well. And of course, seeing some, maybe historic plays or seeing some legendary players from this game. Of course, I'm all ears about that as well. I really appreciate the suggestions. Stuff like this is just beyond fascinating to me, so chalk it up to another sport I have had the pleasure of getting introduced to, and I definitely plan on learning more. Appreciate you watching. It's going to do it for this one. My name is Ian. You're watching IWrocker, and until next time, y'all. Catch you later.